Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have this bad boy in the house, and this is the Sirui 35mm F1.4 Aurora lens, everybody. And this is for the Nikon Z mount. And if you guys were a fan of the 85mm Aurora, this is pretty good. The 35mm lens is one of my favorite focal length that I like to use whenever I go shoot portraits, or even just like as an everyday like documentary lens. It's quite versatile in my opinion because you can still get in close to get a proper portrait without having any distortions, or you can go a little bit wider and to get that environmental portrait look and feel. I do have experience with the 85mm f1.4 Aurora lens, and I absolutely love that lens. That lens is really good, and it was the lens that I thought, you know what, Sirui is onto something here. They are leveling up and they are coming for you. So again, is that excitement shared with this lens right here, the 35mm f1.4 Aurora lens? And the short answer is yes. But if you want to get to know the longer answer, please watch the full video because we're going to start off with the build quality. So if you are familiar with the 85mm Aurora lens, then you're going to feel right at home with this lens. I like how they are uniform. They all have the same design language. We also got the blue Sirui badge on this lens, and at the top of the lens we got the Aurora branding. We also have an iris lock, an FM button, an AF MF toggle switch, and an aperture ring, so we can switch aperture with your hands if you choose to. And then we also got the on-off switch for, you know, click or declick aperture. Now I like how this lens feels. I like that this lens feels lighter than other full-frame 35mm lens that I've used in the past. This lens weighs around 480 grams. I used to own the Sony 35mm f1.4 G Master, and that weighs around 524 grams. And then there's also the Sigma 35mm f1.4 Art Series lens, and that lens is chunky. It's coming in at 640 grams. But this lens is really light compared to other 35mm lenses out there. This lens also has a 62mm filter thread. It has the standard USB-C port on the back for firmware updates, and at the back you can also see the rubber gasket seal as well, making this lens a dust-proof, dirt-resistant, and raindrop resistant. So it's ready to perform in any given weather conditions, which is great. Now when it comes to autofocusing, I think it performs great, especially on my Nikon Z8. Now here it is tracking a dog, and I thought the lens was quick enough to track this dog steadily strolling around town. This is one of the better third-party autofocusing lens that I've tested. Usually there would be like a drag or some sort of hunting with other lenses, but this one feels smooth and it gave me no hiccups. So when it comes to the image quality at f1.4, it's freaking awesome. Having a 35mm with an f1.4 is an interesting look, especially on full frame. It gives you such a nice separation, and I was so in love with the 85mm Aurora and its background separation and its bokeh. With the 35mm, I feel the same as well. I looked at the bokeh and I felt, oh, this is familiar. This is something that I noticed on the 85 as well. So something about it is nice. It's soft in the right places. And at f1.4, it is sharp in the center, and I was quite surprised. It doesn't have as much contrast as something like the Sony G Master lenses or the Sigma lenses, but I still think it's sharp. And combined with the f1.4 with its minimum focusing distance at 35 centimeters, you get some pretty cool bokeh. Now take a look at this shot of this plant right here where everything was just blurred out, and as you can see in the shot, at minimum focus distance, I would say that this lens is sharp, but it's soft. There's not much contrast as other lenses. However, I would say that I've seen worse, and this has exceeded my expectations. Now, I told you I took this around town and took photos of my wife in these different areas, and I've been enjoying the look. I think the bokeh looks pretty nice and smooth. Although it's a bit cat's eyes, I enjoyed the look because it does look a little bit funky, and that subject isolation at 35mm on a full frame is surprisingly good. When I took these shots of my wife, I couldn't believe how much she was popping out of the frame. I was shooting this when the sun was setting, so at f1.4, it did allow me to open up my aperture to gather more light. So this is really good if you guys are into like low light photography. There are some slight purple and green fringing, but it's not something that is jarring in my opinion. It's just there. Now overall, my experience with this lens is the same like the 85mm f1.4 Aurora. I love it. I love it for its image quality. I love how light it is compared to other 35mm full frame f1.4 lenses that I've used in the past. Most of the time, I get hand fatigue and I put the lens away right after. But I walked around with this lens for a couple hours with my Nikon Z8, which is a chunky camera, by the way, and I felt fine. I enjoyed it. I got some beautiful shots of my wife and of the town and of just everywhere here in the south of Portugal. This lens performs really, really good, and it's at a competitive price as well. It's coming in at $549, and it's competitive with like the native lenses and the other third-party lenses like the Sigmas and the Viltroxes of the world. This is a lens I would highly recommend if you are looking for a great performing lens with weather sealing. It takes great image quality, decent autofocus, and it's coming in at an affordable price. A 35mm f1.4 full frame lens for $549 with some weather sealing, with like great image quality, with autofocusing. So these third-party brands are, you know, are leveling up, and this lens just proves to me that they're leveling up, and I can't wait. It's gonna be a race to the top to see who's gonna have a zoom lens. I think it's either gonna be Sirui or Viltrox to make like an f2.8 zoom lens. That's what I'm excited about. So after they get their Aurora lens lineup fleshed out, I'm curious to see what they do next. I'm hoping for a 50mm f1.4. That'll be nice, and perhaps like an f1.2 lens to compete with the Lab series lens out there. So yeah, let me know, what are your thoughts on the Sirui 35mm f1.4 Aurora lens? Do let me know down in the comments below. And if you're interested, affiliate links are at the bottom as well. And if you do use my affiliate links, you are helping support the channel and allows me to create more videos like this for you guys. And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, as it helps with the algorithm. It pushes the video out there and it gets my videos to more eyes. I would appreciate that as well. And yeah, let me know if you guys are interested in this lens. Thanks so much.